Hello and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. My name is Nelson, and this is just gonna be a sort of video reply to what Nordarchy put out and Juice was talking about, which was cutscenes in your tabletop role-playing game. Now, I don't know. I've watched those videos, and it sounds like they're talking about cutscenes as something new, something foreign, and it's not. Cutscenes have been used in tabletop RPGs for like forever. It's the only way of truly imparting knowledge and direction to your game. At least the only way I know of. Uh, the approach to that is more cinematic now, but that's also because a lot of us nowadays we're starting to game online in numbers that personally I've never fucking seen before. Um, getting 6 games a week for some people, gaming almost every day, gaming online, making gaming live. Some of the cutscenes, there are certain liberties taken due to having an audience. But a cutscene is simply just a point in time where, you speak, here's some knowledge, and you do so in a way that doesn't necessarily break immersion. It's like, all right, you guys look at the tower. It's the wizard's tower. It's tall and made of stone. Go inside and see what happens. Yeah, you could run a game like that. But you as players, would you prefer a game be run in that fashion? Hey, there's a wizard's tower. This tower belongs to the wizard. So the wizard's in there. And it's tall and made of stone. It's kind of round, too. Or you just decide to play a game more like, instead of coming upon the wizard's tower, maybe you come upon the wizard's tower, you break through the tree line. The trees are almost dying, they're darkening, the wood graying, leaves falling. Seasons upon seasons of dead leaves crackle beneath your feet. There is no wind, no breeze. It is eerily silent, eerily dead. And jutting forth from the center of the clearing, this tall, massive stone structure spiraling towards the heavens. Vines growing up. Something like that. That's like a cutscene. You're not saying, hey, the camera pans forth, and you can, your camera, your view, your perspective, however you want to label it, you can direct the attention in different ways to make it more cinematic, but you're still using a cutscene. I think cutscenes are great. Even at a, normal tabletop game, that's not, I keep thinking of the word televised. That's not broadcasted over the internet, right? And I think they still work great in a normal tabletop game with you and a bunch of guys and gals, kids, adults, just a bunch of people getting together, sitting down and playing. Because you can share that meta knowledge at times, cinematically. You can paint a scene. I love to use terrain, but even with terrain, you can still describe the scene while setting up the terrain. It allows your players to hopefully be more engaged, to better buy into the game or buy into that one scene while you're setting up. And even if you're not playing with terrain, then it has the same effects. Bleh. That you're not just sitting there saying, yeah, there's a tower, go in. That's, I don't know, I find that boring. That's me. Or, yeah, that guy's the mayor. He's fat. And he goes, hey, come on in. or do you sit down there and not monologue, like a long drawn out monologue? Every tool you have at your disposal can be used better or not better, can be used correctly or incorrectly. Utilizing a cutscene incorrectly is the same as utilizing anything in your tabletop game incorrectly. The cutscene itself is not the problem, right? But the cutscene can add to your game too. And do it in little spurts. Don't monologue. Don't take 10, 15, 20 minutes by yourself saying, I am the DM and I'm going to talk because I love the sound of my voice. No. Like I DM'd the game where it was a one shot and we were running short on time. And the players at the time didn't realize the only reason I did it was because we were running short on time. So I turned a chase into a cutscene. I just told them to roll athletics checks or whatever it was I told them to roll. They rolled the dice, and the highest one was the one that got the kill. They were chasing, I believe it was 4 young manticore through a dense forest. And then instead of me narrating the cutscene, I gave it over to the players and let them narrate their own cutscene. Don't hog the glory for yourself as a DM. That, I think, is wrong. Share. This is a community. You're sitting and you're in a group and you're not the lord of the group. You're the one with the most responsibility. Your job is the hardest compared to the other players, as the GM. But share that glory. You know what I'm saying? Give it over. You have a cutscene? You have a cutscene? You have a cutscene? Okay, now I'm the DM. I have a cutscene. It's a cutscene is where you take the most agency for yourself because you are the narrator. As the DM, the other players have pretty much no agency. They're off to the side. You're painting a picture for them. But hand that over. Take your talking stick and pass it along and let them narrate a cutscene every once in a while. Utilize it. Don't abuse it. Utilize it. If someone falls off a cliff, do you say, hey, you fell off a cliff. You're pretty much dead. You don't get to play anymore. Shut up for the rest of the game because your character's dead. Or do you let them go out? Okay, unfortunately, you fell off the cliff. So why don't you take a moment to narrate your death? Be as cinematic as you like. Take as much agency as you like in this death scene. But this is your character's death scene. And just let them go. Let them narrate that. And that is their cutscene. If they want to go all angular with the perspectives and say, oh, you see in the perspective of the character's eyes as their view is slipping towards the sky, and as their view is slipping towards the sky, their perspective pulls out from the character's view, turns around as it's flying through the air, almost as if this character's spirit is already leaving their body, knowing that their form cannot take the fall from this mountainside, from this cliff, to the jagged rocks below. And it's flying up, and you can see the character reaching out in desperation, reaching to grab something, but yet only grabbing handfuls of nothing, of sorrow and desperation and sadness and regret, as they were unable to accomplish their mission, unable to achieve some goal in their life, and blah, 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 they fall and go splat. There you go, cutscene. Was it your job as the DM to narrate that? You could have, but pass it along. Give it to the player. Let them feel, even in their moment of loss, that they have some power. Even when they're not dying, just, okay, you catch up to this enemy. Describe how you kill it. That's a cutscene. It's a very, very small cutscene. May only take a minute or two to describe. May only be seconds in game time. But just those little pangs of narrative agency, complete narrative agency that you give to your players are cutscenes. When you take that for yourself, it's a cutscene. We already use them. So they're not a bad thing. But like anything else we use, it can be done incorrectly. It can be done to detract from the enjoyment of others in the game. As any tool we use, you have rules. If you want to just, hey, it's in the rule book, you can't do it because I don't know how to adjudicate these things because it's written in the rules as such. Well, that can detract from the game. So even the rules can be a bad thing. So just have fun with it, Cutscenes are awesome. DMs, don't do cutscenes by yourself. Don't take all that power for yourself. Spread the love, as in anything. Spread the love. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, the unity of your players, the fellowship of this community, and having fun, having a great time. So use those cutscenes. Enjoy them. Take cutscenes from movies and reskin them in your game. Don't take 20 minutes describing. It's not all about you. Take a 5-minute little pause. Listen, boom, this is what happens. This is the way it happens. The camera flies this way. The camera flies that way. Your view or your perspective, or what you see before you, or flashback. Maybe they walk into a tower and they get a flashback of what the tower once was, the glory, so that they could better understand that the decrepit nature of this tower is such a sad sight, rather than, yeah, that's a fallen down tower. We're going to go in it, kill someone dead, get some shit, and go home. That's what you can do, man. I mean, play with it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Always have fun. That's all I got to say. Not really. I can talk for a long time. So I'm just going to shut up. Tell you guys, peace out.